Because like you're talking about with that earlier gameplay getting into it, things like Kirby's up tilt just seems like the end of the road for Falcon. And then players like Zero just showing all the answers he has for it. But now he's moving on to a little bit of a different matchup. Pikachu.
Something that we've seen Zero be pretty comfortable in.
I would say so. And something that Kero at the very least is familiar with. I think Falcon might be a bit of a, character demon for him, so to speak. But if any man can do it, I would say it's Kero, especially with his one set to play around with.
And here we go, Grand Finals of Low Tier City 6. Zero coming in from the loser side against Kero. And Kero, I mean, his path to Grand Finals was the express path, to say the least.
Yes.
Just blazing through and burning down any opponents that stood in his way. And Zero seems to be no exception there. A quick combo sequence will be resulting in an initial stock in his favor. Ooh,
yeah,
spacing on the grab, but doesn't seem like it really matters as Kero temporarily had stage advantage. Zero's turn now to try to find the next duck.
And just whiffing that up air there. Otherwise, I think would have been a good option. Not quite going to kill, but Zero very familiar with these edge guards.
Oh, I feel like he was maybe looking for a pivot there, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, and the F
he definitely wanted the down tilt to be facing in the other direction. And Kero just wanted to always capitalize when the mistake comes.
Patience that we're seeing from Zero. And someone, like we said, it's played quite a bit against Kero. This is that comfort, that familiarity in the matchup more than anything else. It's just a question of who's the better player today. Zero. Oh.
Yeah. So the Falcon kick, shielding is probably the best option against it. It just doesn't have nearly enough hit stun, and the end lag is pretty crazy. And despite all that, Kero just not able to punish it.
It's very odd, to say the least.
I think Zero did need that kind of gimme, to have a chance in this game. And there it is. The no tech from Kero, not quite working out. Zero more than ready for it.
Oh, but not ready for the quick grab from Kero.
And the get-up attack, not enough. But Kero just more than ready. And reading the roll in, but just Zero too quick.
Ooh, that time, actually, the tech working out. Zero, a bit gung-ho, it seems.
Yeah, there's a lot of moves coming out right now.
Oh, no. Horrible position for Zero. And wow, Kero!
The weave!
Brilliant. Brilliant recovery from Zero there. Kero, very likely that he forgot that Zero had that extra jump, and Zero was able to leverage that just to buy him a little bit of time. But Kero right back at it.
Yeah, and on that previous stock, with how many times Zero was in a bad position, he just always had an answer up his sleeve for what to do about it. But Kero's still up a clean stock, so Zero's going to have to have some pretty clean conversions here to make it 1-0 in his favor.
It's tricky because Pikachu really wants Falcon to try to press the advantage in neutral.
Yeah, and it's so tempting. Pikachu's right there. Why can't I just grab him? But when he's so close to ledge, it's an easy setup for Pikachu to get a kill on Falcon. And
Kero, being such a tricky player, he's so good at just manipulating the small amount of space that he has to create these opportunities out of thin air.
And single hit F air, up B. We've seen it plenty of times before. Not going to kill this time, though. Oh, great patience from Zero.
A lesser Falcon, I think, would have instinctively just inputted a jump.
Yeah, just as the up B was launching. But Zero knows, like, Falcon's a fast enough character to kind of react to where Pikachu's going. You don't always have to make the read on the up B.
You can see the bit of a stalemate at this point.
Yeah, 4 minutes in, which is a pretty good amount of time for this matchup.
It's just a level of respect I think they both have. Oh, Zero in a horrible spot. Kero, quick back air, that's going to go ahead and seal game number 1. But, You called it. 4-11 for Falcon versus Pikachu?
Yeah, so just shows how patient these players are. Knowing that you don't always have to make a decision, you know? And look at them, just still talking like as the peers they are, just about the match. Still got a smile on their face.
It's good to see.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's you know, I think sometimes friends make the best rivals.
I think so.
They're both just constantly trying to push each other up to that next level.
And Zero opting for a top plat, or Kero opting for top plat.
Oh! Not quite. That was a little bit lower.
Yeah, I think he would have had a guaranteed kill otherwise, but throwing out the Falcon Punch for the fans.
He's doing it for me.
Yeah.
I told him all you gotta do is just do cool stuff for me to get hype about. That's your job.
And sails out that Nair, easy grab conversion into the kill.
Nice. Down into there.
Oh,
and the up tilt as well.
Have not seen that this set so far, so another pocket move from Zero. And Kero kind of letting Zero get away from him on the top plat. Kero comfortable on his side plat position. So I think what we're seeing from Kero going on top plat, you see he's edging with the shield, or he's standing at the edge with the shield just about every time. I think he's trying to bait a push off from Zero to, you know, try to get a counter hit in.
And Zero there just mistiming the down tilt.
Oh, and that up air just scooping him up, and gonna be an easy kill.
Easy. Zero, stock advantage for the moment. As Kero starts to bide his time. Just trying to figure out the option, you know. You're seeing what Kero's doing is that he'll approach, just pivot away. It puts him in a position where not only is he outside of some of the ranges of Zero's approaches, but it also puts him in a position for a quick up tilt if he wants to go for that option, as well as a potential back air.
And Zero very comfortable in center stage here. And Kero, you know, setting up the tent poles a little bit.
Kero's slight adjustments on his positioning on the platforms.
Yeah, and catching the landing there. I don't really agree with Nair there, but about back to square one, and Pikachu is at a more comboable percent now.
Kero just eyeing the opportunity like an eager college student waiting to just play hacky sack. And this is the opportunity. Oh!
A bit of an input error. See if he pays for it.
Yeah. I mean, he most certainly will. Kero. Oh!
That up air, just as he's sinking to the ground.
And so shy with the back airs overall from Zero. Finally.
Yeah. And we'll see if he can convert this into a edge guard. I think right idea from Kero, but just not quite the distance to get away with a single zip.
Now Zero having pretty solid grasp on this game overall. But Kero, of course, does have Zero at a nice percentage. He can very quickly erode this stock, but Zero may not give him the chance. Neutral air for the positioning and the percentage more than anything else.
Yep, and Kero slowly approaching percents to where a lot of stray aerials will get the kill on him.
We're trying to wall Kero out with some of these back airs. Oh, the trade!
There it is. That's not going to kill, but just closer than ever to evening up the game count.
It's a little awkward. A back air will do it, and I think Kero knows this, so we're seeing some adjustments in his approaches. By knowing that Zero is hungering and really jonesing for the KO, he's going to try to use that to his advantage to take advantage of whatever bad positions Zero will put himself into.
Yeah, and realistically, Kero only needs a couple grabs to make this an even game.
Back throw. Oh. That'll do it. No, not quite enough. Surprising enough.
And that will do it.
jumped the gun a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. To be fair, I think Zero did too.
Yeah, yeah. Saw a bit of a pause there, like, oh, I got the match. Oh, he's still there.
That's one of those moments where if, for whatever reason, you weren't able to secure the kill, it's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah.
And you're just in such a bad mental state for that
like,
last stock.
But thankfully, you know, Zero, I think riding the momentum into the next game here. We'll see if he can keep up the pressure. It just seemed like he played way more patient than he did in game 1. Instead of trying to force it when Kero was camping under that side plat, he just opted to just really stay that center stage, you know, knowing that was his probably safest position he could sit around, especially at those higher percentage.
This may be one of the few games that Kero's even dropped this entire tournament.
Yeah, besides his matches with Court, I believe, and a stray match against CTG and Lodo, I think that happened yesterday.
Nice. Falling down with the forward air that time around, just catching Kero as he was trying to sneak underneath Zero.
Oh, and great option from Kero there. Knowing that as Zero trying to escape the Angel invincibility by jumping up, and Kero just ready to grab it.
Nice, covering multiple options there. And you could see that Zero, you know, he has this advantage, and so he really doesn't want to approach too much. He's comfortable in giving Kero just a little bit of ground, as long as it means he doesn't have to play so close to the edge.
And Kero just playing around those techs incredibly well. I think I saw Zero trying to squeeze out a downer there, which would have been a great turnaround.
Again with the
both
up tilt.
hits. And no double jump here.
Oh.
Again, forced to up B. And just not quite what he wanted.
Yeah, Kero, you know, he knows that he's playing against somebody who he's sparred against quite a bit. He's trying to find some new tricks, just not quite correct on the execution. Zero, in the meantime, having some tricks of his own, like we said, very privy to using that Falcon dive for some extra coverage and an extra offensive point of pressure when facing opponents on platforms.
Yeah, and you would think that a player would save it until they're at a kill percentage. But
you gotta love it.
Yeah, I do love it. I think the people out there love it too.
And now Zero.
Back air, apparently the hardest move in the game to see canceled.
Nice.
And landing on top plat again. Zero's so smart with his positioning when he needs to continue a combo. And just like that, he is up 2-1 on the loser side of Grand Finals.
Just confirming the score.
Yep.
As Kero takes that very crucial sip of coffee.
He might be, you know, thinking, maybe I'll just throw this one, give him the win, you know. I got another one to play with. It's 2-1, right? So I only got to play one more until I try. I don't know if that's quite what's going through his head, but...
There's a chance.
Yeah.
That, of course, a luxury that Zero doesn't have. For him, he has to win this set. Game 4.
And Zero opting with the reverse up airs and neutral.
He's just trying to, I think, really deny several zones of approach from Kero. Try to maybe force him to have a more ground-oriented game, so Zero can stuff him out with aerials such as the back air.
And that's a trade Zero's going to love. Doesn't get the kill out of it, but Pikachu had a pretty good percentage here.
It's decent.
Mad decent.
So Kero certainly playing the ground game that I think Zero would like him to.
Yeah, but it seems like every time Kero lands on that side plat, Zero is just sniffing it out and ready to scoop him back up with an up air.
Nice.
Oh, and great awareness from Kero, knowing that he would get the edge cancel from the hit stun there, and just getting right out of there with the tech and the up B. And a bit of a mistake from Kero, and he's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
What would have been a, you know, stock lead is now, or I guess evening of stocks is now a stock lead for Zero.
He's fine with that. He'll take that trade every time.
Yeah.
You can see again just the dance that we're seeing. Kero, despite the slower speed that Pikachu has, is just doing a good job of weaving in and out of the danger zone.
And Kero not quick enough to escape that time from the edge cancel. And Zero up a pretty clean 3 stocks to 1. And a great fall off up air for the conversion here.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And just like that, Zero takes the first set of grand finals.
I mean, the ending was flashy, but the setup was actually just so incredible to me.
Yeah, it was stellar. Like, you know, and once again, just those deep pockets, just saving some of those options until the very end of the game. And we're back to hand warmers. Kero wanting to take a little bit of time probably to think about the matchup at hand.
We've seen Kero in positions before where you look to his opponents and think, you know, they have him. They've read Kero. And he updates the framework. He puts in the necessary patchwork. He completes the download and becomes this entirely different player. We saw that very early on this morning in his match against Court.
Yeah. And he just, what looked like what would have been a clean 3 games from Court was just turned into just such a brutal comeback from Kero. And maybe we're having some controller issues because he seems to be specifically testing up B and just maybe not getting exactly where he wants to go.
We did see a couple of executional errors now that you mention it, Andy, in that last game, specifically tied to that up B, and we were thinking, you know, maybe it's him going for a sneaky option of recovery, but not quite positioning it correctly. But it very well could be just a technical error as well.
Yeah. Someone get this man an OG.
Hori's aren't everything they're cracked up to be, except for the Hori DI.
Yeah.
Hori DI is pretty absurd.
It is.
Pretty absurd.
It's like, oh, the places you'll go, but just a picture of Hori's analog stick on there. You know?
I do have a copy of Oh, the Places You'll Go that's sitting in my room, actually. My AP history teacher, your AP US history teacher, bought one for all of us in
really?
class.
That's awesome.
She's a sweet lady.
And they're ready to get back into it. Zero having all the momentum in the world going into set 2 of Grand Finals. And both these players now in losers. Zero just, you know, he's going to want to pull out all the stops if he wants to defend Texas.
And here we go. For all the marbles. Both players feeling immense amounts of pressure, but it's Zero as the initial person to exude some of that pressure actually on screen. The clean conversion that we're used to seeing from him that time around, perhaps due to Kero's DI, but still able to walk away with quite a few hits here.
Yeah, and I would say Zero is still at an advantage here, having pressured corner back to the ledge.
Oh, that's a bad spot.
And just switching it around that easily from Kero's perspective.
Oh, looking
a little risky.
It's options like that work against most players.
Yeah.
But not against Kero.
And, you know, once again, it's one of those things that can really win you the set or just, you know, take it away from you in an instant. But Kero's just been so ready for Falcon Kick earlier in the last set. I just don't think it's an option that Zero should really have in mind too often.
Bring up a good point. Zero will whittle away that first stock, but not without taking significant damages beforehand, and damage is just enough for Kero to find the equalizer almost immediately.
Yeah, he knew he didn't really need a strong finisher. He already caught the second jump, so just carry him off stage, grab ledge, and easy kill. And a very even game, though. And once again, that falling effort that we saw earlier last set.
So useful. Just the area of denial that it has, combined with the combo factor.
Good way to put it. And I like that he's opting to slow fall it as well. You don't always have to, you know, use Falcon speed and fast fall everything.
It's true. And this is looking pretty brutal for Kero so far. He's had, like we said, fairly easy for him trips so far to Grands, aside from that incredibly close set that he had with Court. A few times this tournament, he's feeling pressure.
And Zero, like, not always the strongest DI, but just seems to know exactly where to position himself with it every time. That effort that would have been into an easy grab, he just slides off stage instead and grabs ledge.
Back throw from Zero, understanding that probably wouldn't be getting too much off of a forward throw follow-up there.
Yeah.
Getting the grab regardless.
Up air and B. That easy sometimes.
And there's a chance that Kero, because he saw that Zero typically would throw out an attack, retreat to center, figured that Zero would not go for that second grab there.
Yeah.
And that's why it seemed like Kero essentially ran into the arms of Zero there.
But you know, Zero's still adjusting despite being ahead, so to speak. Or perhaps that conditioning that we mentioned before. Knowing that Kero might adjust in such a sense and just being so ready for it.
Kero taking game number 1 in our second set of grand finals.
Yeah, now Kero's just thinking very hard. Zero is a player he should be more than familiar with, but just some of these options, they almost seem unpunishable from Zero.
And they're both just so similar.
Yeah.
They have characters that they're known for, but they also have the pockets to dive into when things get dicey. And I think for Kero, he was just trying to think to himself, is this a matchup that I'm confident my Pikachu can win? Or do I try to pull out a couple of other characters here?
Yeah, and I'm not sure what he'll go with.
Ooh.
And what a turnaround there. It almost looked like Kero's DI was just enough to not change where he was going to go, but trick Zero into thinking so. And great movement from Kero, but Zero just opting to go way in there, and Kero not ready for it.
Solid down air. Oh, wow. Just enough hit stun there to find the follow-up that he was looking for.
Yeah, and that's definitely that character knowledge there. I don't think many people would have expected to use that option. Not going to kill, but a pretty bad spot for Kero here.
What I really respect about Zero is his ability to convert in almost any scenario. He's comfortable playing the explosive early percent combo game and finding stocks that way, but he's also doing a good job of just nickel and diming Kero in neutral and peppering in those hits and making sure that he can cash out when he needs to as well.
Yeah, because like we mentioned with that earlier level of Falcon, it's almost like they're only looking for that grab or that up smash, but Zero's so good at those stray hits at so many percentages that sometimes that nair, that's up air and neutral, or that falling F air is enough for him to confirm it into a kill. In so many different ways, too.
Trying to go for the second grab that gave him the victory in the previous game. It doesn't work out this time around. Oof. And Kero tying things up here.
Yeah, and this is a game Kero, I would believe, wants to win, you know? I mean, obviously, but he has shown that he has that comeback potential, but Zero, I don't think is someone you want to give that room of having a two-game lead against you.
Absolutely not. Up smash.
And catches that short hop.
Smart. Just a good adjustment after reacting to Kero's reactions on those edge-oriented approaches.
Yeah, and smart from Kero, recognizing that he took Zero's second jump there. Just getting him right off stage.
No back airs quite yet, but an earnest up smash.
And there's that get-up attack. And Zero somehow just making it back on stage. I almost feel like Kero might not be flowcharting the edge guarding enough here. He's throwing out a lot of moves, but you know, sometimes it just seems to be the wrong one when Zero is in a very specific situation. And just like that, Zero takes that that second lease on life and gets a stock for it.
Oh, that's got to do it.
Yep.
Clean. Kero tying up the second set.
Very close game, too.
Very close.
And
Get
Zero
the stretch is going.
Yeah, showing off the socks and slides combo. Very comfortable for the early morning top
Very
8.
comfortable. Could have been worse. Could have been flip-flops, you know, with the socks.
Yeah, I respect the socks and slides, you know. Like, it's definitely not the most fashionable thing, but
No.
like anytime you're in the locker room, you know, you don't want to have like your cleats on, and you don't always want to have to slip on and tie another shoe.
I think Zero's just thinking to himself, you know what? I'm so cool. I think I can pull this off. And he'll need that cool and calm composure. Here in particular, trying to go for another Falcon Punch combo, but Kero doing a good job using some of that invulnerability that the startup with a quick attack grants you, just to weave out of that combo there. Both players just trying to negotiate some of this space.
Oh,
Kero,
and the defensive up tilt.
yeah, we're used to seeing that whenever Kero's recovering, not so much to stuff out some of Kero's approaches.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think tilts in general are pretty underutilized against those characters that like to rush in and grab. Oh, and great shield stop from Kero. And catches the second jump. Easy stock there.
very easy. Kero is at a pretty decent percent where something like I think a down air should be enough to confirm into a kill. Just a decision on how Zero's going to approach this. Tried and true grab, but too far to find the follow-up.
Yeah.
And no space really, I think, to execute the pivot either.
And Zero missing the edge cancel on top plat. Not going to pay for it.
Kero just
and there's that dash attack. Haven't really seen that all set.
Reaching deep. Nice! Early aerial, stuffing out the startup of that up tilt. Kero seems eager to take another stock here. And he very well may.
Yeah. We're definitely seeing a different Kero than what we saw in set 1.
Back here.
Yeah.
Nice, stuffing the corner. I think that Kero got a little bit too comfortable with Zero's lack of approaches to, or lack of commitment rather, to approaching him when he's sitting by the ledge. And that was all Zero needed in that opportunity, just to put in that one back air. Very nice reactions, but
no.
the executional error from Zero!
Yeah, and you don't want to see that ever, especially at this level. Oh, and great up air just to catch that second jump. Doesn't quite confirm it into a kill, but Zero probably feeling pretty good about that one.
That's a bad spot. This very well could be the game.
Oh, and great F tilt, you know. And that F tilt, we didn't really see it from Kero all set, but it covers Falcon going to the ledge so well. And it's just so quick. If you miss that move, you can oftentimes just get it right out there after missing an aerial. And Kero looking way more fun.
Very much so.
Now it's going to be Zero who's going to have to do some thinking. It's hard to say really what he was doing wrong. I almost feel like it was just Kero taking a lot more advantage of his hits than he did in the previous set.
I mean, Kero was just, you know, objectively cleaner than Zero throughout that game. Zero had some executional errors both in his combo game as well as in recovery.
That too.
And, you know, they seem like little things, but when you're playing at this high of a level, it's just all snowballs.
Yes. A lot of little things adding into that big snowball. And in Zero's case, I feel like he might have been extending a little too hard near the ledge. Kero turning it into quick conversions with like that up air to falling nair to a grab, you know.
Tournament point here for Kero.
Yeah.
Just these 4 stocks.
I don't know about you, but I would really like to see a Game 5 here.
I think most people would like to see a Game 5, except for Kero.
Except for Kero.
Already quick at work, taking that first stock in under 20 seconds. Zero eager to find an answer of his own. But like you said, it's very crucial that in that eagerness that he doesn't overextend, because that plays directly into Kero's game plan. Max range up air. Both players utilizing that particular toolkit in beautiful ways throughout this set.
And Kero just comfortable under that side plat yet again. He doesn't seem to be hopping on to the side plat as much anymore, possibly because Zero is catching him so many times at it.
Oh. Maybe a little bit too much respect. I feel like I would have maybe gone for a bit more of an explosive option.
I think up B would have been nice there.
Oh, down air. Beautiful.
Oh, great pick up there from the downer as well. Just reacting to the attack and getting that quick kill with the back throw.
Still a long way to go for both players. Zero. Oh.
I respect the option, but just not enough hit stun.
Such an early percentage. That's going to be a punish.
And great patience from Zero, not reacting until Kero made a mistake.
Nearly resulting in a stock there as well. Kero, he have his wits about him. Zero, though, not able to capitalize, and this gives Kero all the opportunity in the world.
And that was such a smart, just slow fall nair to nick Zero and turn that into an easy conversion. And Zero letting out a big yawn, hopefully getting enough energy to turn this around.
Let's turn the hat around, which, at least in my childhood, is a good sign of nice things to come. Typically.
And he finally gets him with the Falcon kick.
60% of the time.
It works every time.
Still a long way to go for Zero if he wants to inch his way back into this game. That grab, a great start. That combo, a better finish, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh! But he's too far off the stage, and Kero
Was that on purpose?
will be taking low tier City 6.
What a showing.
What a showing.
Yeah.
I felt it in me. I felt it in me, that last stock, that perhaps Game 5 scenario.
Yeah, and we all wanted to see it, except for Kero.
Yeah, except for Kero.